Los Angeles is no stranger to wildfires. Each year, flames roar through its hillsides, leaving behind trails of destruction, despair, and heartache. But in the fall of last year, something strange caught the attention of one of the world's most brilliant and unconventional minds, Elon Musk. Known for revolutionizing industries, from electric cars to space travel, Musk's curiosity about the natural world is just as sharp as his drive to innovate. Yet what he noticed about the LA wildfires wasn't in the headlines. It wasn't in the official reports. It wasn't something anyone had thought to question. Until now. It all started one evening when Musk, scrolling through wildfire coverage on his tablet, paused on a photograph. The image was unremarkable at first glance. A blazing hillside, firefighters in the foreground, and a trail of smog hanging over the city. But something in the photo struck him as wrong. It wasn't the fire itself. It was something about the way the smoke rose, the intensity of the flames in a particular pattern, and the areas where the fire seemed oddly contained. His engineer's brain kicked into overdrive. Patterns, anomalies, and irregularities. These were his bread and butter. Musk didn't see just a wildfire. He saw a puzzle. That night, Musk tweeted a cryptic message. Wildfires are a natural part of life on Earth. But not all wildfires behave naturally. It was a subtle nod, almost lost among his usual musings about Tesla updates and SpaceX launches. Yet it sparked a flurry of speculation. What did he mean by not natural? Was he talking about climate change? Something else? For most people, it was just another Musk mystery. But behind the scenes, he was digging deeper. Musk's fascination turned into an obsession. Using the resources of SpaceX and Tesla, he quietly began to analyze satellite images, atmospheric data, and reports from fire departments. He consulted experts, scientists, meteorologists, even seasoned firefighters. What he uncovered was both shocking and deeply unsettling. While climate change was undeniably a factor, Musk discovered a pattern that couldn't be explained by nature alone. Certain hotspots ignited with an eerie precision, almost as if they were being orchestrated. He hesitated to share his findings. Musk, for all his boldness, knew that making unfounded claims could damage his reputation and distract from his ongoing projects. But the evidence kept piling up, and the more he looked, the more undeniable it became. He began to wonder, was this a coincidence, a fluke of nature, or something far more sinister? At this point, Musk decided to take things a step further. He reached out to a trusted inner circle, scientists, engineers, and even a few investigative journalists, to help him piece together the puzzle. The group worked in secret, poring over data, interviewing witnesses, and tracking patterns in the fire's behavior. And as the pieces began to fit, a chilling theory emerged, one that could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the LA wildfires. But before Musk could go public with his suspicions, something happened that changed everything. Late one night, just as his team was preparing a report on their findings, Musk received an anonymous message. It wasn't your average email or a simple text. It was a heavily encrypted file sent to one of his private servers. The file contained information so explosive, so deeply intertwined with his growing theory, that it made his earlier findings look like child's play. What Musk saw in that file made his heart race. It confirmed his worst fears and raised even bigger questions. Who had sent it? Why were they revealing this now? And most importantly, what were they trying to warn him about? At this point, Musk knew he had to act, but how? If he revealed what he knew, he risked a media frenzy, or worse. If he stayed silent, he might be complicit in something much larger than himself. It was a no-win situation, and yet Musk wasn't the kind of person to back down from a challenge. And this, my friends, is where the story truly begins. Because what Elon Musk did next wasn't just shocking, it was unprecedented. It shook the very foundations of how we view technology, nature, and the forces that shape our world. But to fully understand the magnitude of his response, you'll need to stay with us, because the real story is just getting started. As the hours turned into days, Elon Musk found himself consumed by the encrypted file and its contents. He combed through every detail, rereading the messages, analyzing the data, and trying to piece together the truth. The file included heat maps of wildfire outbreaks, timestamps, and strange fluctuations in energy readings near the fire zones. Anomalies that seemed to hint at something far beyond natural causes. There were also snippets of correspondence, though fragmented and hard to decipher, between unknown parties. Whoever sent this file clearly wanted Musk to see something, but they weren't making it easy. The deeper Musk dove, the more questions arose. Why were certain fire-prone areas repeatedly targeted while others remained untouched? Why did the fires seem to follow the paths of utility infrastructure in some cases, but deviate wildly in others? And what was the meaning behind the cryptic line in one of the messages that read, "Asterisk, the key is in the spark, not the flame." Asterisk. Musk, ever the problem solver, treated this like one of his engineering challenges. He tasked his most trusted engineers and AI experts to simulate wildfire behavior under different conditions. Using cutting-edge models, they replicated scenarios based on wind patterns, temperature, and vegetation density, comparing these against the real-world data from the encrypted file. What they found was deeply unsettling. In the simulations, some of the fires acted almost predictably, spreading with the wind, consuming dry brush, and following the natural contours of the land. But others didn't make sense. They moved against the wind, or seemed to skip over vast sections of land, only to ignite in precise, isolated spots miles away. Musk's team couldn't explain these anomalies using the data they had. But Musk's gut told him there was something, or someone, intervening. As word spread within his inner circle, one of his top engineers pulled him aside late one evening. The engineer, a quiet but brilliant mind, showed Musk a curious trend they discovered: fluctuations in local electromagnetic fields near the fires. It was faint but consistent, showing up in the timestamps leading up to the ignition points. This wasn't random noise, it was deliberate. Someone was using technology to manipulate the environment, but for what purpose? At the same time, the team began uncovering other strange coincidences. A series of financial transactions pointed to massive stock trades made just days before the fires erupted. Companies dealing in construction, insurance, and energy infrastructure seemed to benefit from the destruction. Musk, who had long suspected corruption in certain sectors, couldn't ignore the connections. This wasn't just about wildfires, it was about money, power, and control. To get to the bottom of it, Musk decided to take a risk. He called a trusted investigative journalist he had worked with before, someone who could help him bring these findings to light without drawing immediate attention to himself. The journalist, intrigued by Musk's claims, agreed to work quietly, following the trail of data and money. Meanwhile, Musk faced mounting pressure. The fires were still raging, consuming thousands of acres, displacing families, and devastating communities. He knew the public needed answers, but every step closer to the truth revealed more layers of complexity. Could he prove that these fires were part of something deliberate? And if so, how would people react? Then an unexpected twist shook everything. One of the satellites Musk had redirected to monitor fire-prone areas captured something extraordinary. In the middle of a remote hillside, moments before a new fire erupted, a faint but distinct burst of light appeared. It wasn't lightning, nor was it an ember carried by the wind. It was concentrated, as if someone had aimed an invisible hand at the ground. Musk's heart raced as he reviewed the footage. The light was consistent with the kind of beam that could be produced by advanced directed energy technology. But who could have access to such tools, and why would they use them to spark wildfires? As far-fetched as it sounded, the evidence was staring him in the face. The encrypted file, the financial anomalies, the electromagnetic field fluctuations, it all pointed to a coordinated effort. But to what end? Was it to drive up profits for certain industries? To push political agendas under the guise of climate action? Or was there an even darker motive lurking beneath the surface? As the journalist Musk had contacted began digging deeper, strange things started to happen. Emails went missing. Phones began acting erratically. And then came the subtle warnings. Unmarked cars parked outside their homes, unfamiliar faces at public events. Musk realized that whoever was behind this operation wasn't just powerful. They were watching him. But Musk wasn't one to back down. The stakes were higher than ever, and time was running out. The fires were still burning, and lives were still being lost. Musk knew he had to act, but with every step closer to the truth, the risks grew. He was walking a dangerous line, one where the wrong move could mean everything he'd built, and everyone he cared about was at risk. The question wasn't just whether Musk could uncover the truth. It was whether he could survive long enough to reveal it. As the warnings grew more ominous, Elon Musk found himself balancing on a razor's edge. He had the pieces of the puzzle, data, evidence, and theories. But the stakes had never been higher. Someone wanted him to stop digging, and their tactics were becoming more direct. Late one night, while working in his private office, his security team intercepted an attempt to hack into Tesla's internal servers. It was a bold move, one that sent a clear message: back off. But Musk wasn't one to retreat. He doubled down, pooling resources from all corners of his empire. SpaceX satellites were repurposed to capture high-resolution data over wildfire zones. Tesla's AI engineers worked tirelessly to model potential scenarios, and Neuralink's team even devised a system to detect and interpret electromagnetic disturbances in real time. For Musk, this wasn't just about the fires anymore. It was about uncovering the truth, no matter the cost. Meanwhile, the journalist Musk had enlisted made a breakthrough. After weeks of digging, they traced the financial transactions to a shadowy consortium of investors tied to industries that profited immensely from disaster recovery and reconstruction. The evidence painted a chilling picture. Wildfires weren't just a tragedy. They were a lucrative business for those who knew how to exploit them. But what tied it all together was a single name: a private technology firm specializing in advanced energy weapons. The firm had contracts with multiple governments and a history of developing tools for unconventional warfare. The pieces were falling into place, but Musk needed one final push to expose the truth. Then it happened, a break neither he nor his team could have anticipated. One of the satellite images captured something extraordinary: a drone-like device hovering over a remote area moments before a fire ignited. Its design was sleek and unfamiliar, clearly a product of cutting-edge technology. The footage was undeniable proof that these fires weren't natural. They were orchestrated. Musk knew the time for caution had passed. He decided to go public, but not in the traditional sense. Instead of a press conference, he turned to the platform he knew best: Twitter. In a series of posts that shook the world, Musk shared the evidence his team had gathered: satellite images, financial data, and the eerie details of electromagnetic anomalies. He didn't make accusations. He simply presented the facts, letting the world draw its own conclusions. The response was immediate and overwhelming. News outlets scrambled to cover the story. Experts weighed in, and social media exploded with speculation. Some praised Musk for his courage, calling him a hero for exposing the truth. Others dismissed the claims as a conspiracy theory. But the evidence was too compelling to ignore, and investigations were launched at the highest levels. As the truth came to light, the fallout was immense. The private firm behind the technology faced intense scrutiny, and their contracts were suspended. Government agencies promised reforms to ensure that such exploitation could never happen again. And while the full extent of the conspiracy remained shrouded in mystery, Musk's revelations sparked a global conversation about ethics, technology, and the ways in which power could be wielded for both good and ill. In the end, Musk emerged from the ordeal more resolute than ever. He didn't see himself as a whistleblower or a savior, just someone who had the resources and determination to ask the right questions. For him, the real victory wasn't just exposing the truth, but sparking action, forcing people to confront uncomfortable realities and demand change. The fires eventually died out, but their legacy remained. Communities began to rebuild, armed with new knowledge and a renewed sense of vigilance. And while Musk returned to his projects, launching rockets, building electric cars, and pushing the boundaries of what humanity could achieve, he never stopped watching the skies, always ready for the next anomaly, the next challenge, the next mystery to solve. Because in the end, that's who Elon Musk was, a seeker of truths, no matter where they led or how dangerous they might be. And for those who thought they could manipulate the world unnoticed, one thing was now certain: Musk was watching.